Hello. If you just This is the beginning of the Tunnel Artist live stream.
Our
We're
second attempt.
our second attempt after being
Censored by
censored
YouTube.
by the YouTube last time. For well, we better not swear. Actually, we better be a bit careful.
Yes, no
After
profanity, yes.
after
No nipples or profanity, yeah.
after showing nipples. So if you're watching this, you can just see I'm in the gallery. So I'll give a bit of background on the tunnel and what this thing is. If you're just tuning in, maybe you're just a stranger from somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
Could be possible. So the tunnel's an artist collective. That man you can hear talking in the background is Matt Tudor, who's the founder, and there's a 3D model of him here in the gallery. So would you like to just chat a bit, maybe, Matt, about what the tunnel is and how it came about and all that sort of jazz?
Well, the tunnel began, as you know, in October of 2014 as a gallery project, and there were just 11 of us. And then, of course, the building was sold and it closed down, and then we continued having shows in various venues throughout London. And over time, it's grown into a concept group, I think. I mean, we've had 2 manifestos that we've written, and
various writings.
Yeah, and a lot of our exhibitions are based on either literature or a film or poetry or philosophy. You know, that's the tradition of the group. What else can we say? And we're a big group now. We've got 44 members. We're getting stronger all the time. And this is our 21st exhibition, I believe.
Yeah, this is the first
in 6 years,
and
our first
one in cyberspace.
Yeah, absolutely, because of the current situation.
Yeah, the COVID.
Yeah.
COVID-19. So, we did that. So I'll give a bit of background on the virtual gallery as well. So this is sort of an evolution of a project I started working on about 5 years ago, actually. So this is created using PlayCanvas. It's WebGL JavaScript game engine. Just to give a bit of technical background, I guess, for anybody watching. And this is basically an evolution of an older virtual gallery I made, which is on the Tunnel website. And I thought we'd do an exhibition based around the lockdown, so it all works in some way or another, inspired or which fit in with the theme of what's going on, the sort of crisis, the virus, and everything else. So kind of a little walk around. So he's got different artworks in from a few members. Jamie Stantonian. Got some pictures of the artist as well. So there's Jess in the top left, me in the middle, Jamie on the right, Matt Tudor on the middle left, Mark on the middle, Beverly, Sarah, Genevieve, and Becca Smith. So that's a few of the artists involved in the show. So it's like, as you can see, it's just basically like a explorable 3D gallery with some nice lighting effects. You can have a look at what each piece is called by going up to it. This is one of Matt Tudor's pieces, who we've got on and live now. So this is from what I believe you call your red period, isn't it, Matt?
A further term, red phase. Yeah, this is my red phase. This started in last September. Okay. I mean, I've been producing portraits in pastel for about 15 years, but this is, like I said, this is the red phase now.
Yeah. Is there any special meaning behind the red, or is it just you like the aesthetic?
I'm obsessed with the color red. Really, it's one of my cadmium red, crimson, and I just wanted to sort of change the sort of format of what I was doing, because everything was black and white for years,
Yeah. So I want to choose crimson,
something
red.
new. Yeah. Something new, yeah.
And it's portrait sort of mode of painting you've been doing for a while as well, isn't it?
15 years. And they're basically just formal constructions. That's what they are. It's like an analysis and breaking down of the form, and that's how that's what I'm interested in, really.
Yeah.
I mean, my work's produced to a very, very simple formula.
And what is this work based on? Anybody in particular? Or is it simply from imagination?
The Madonna pieces are after Andrea Mantegna, one of my favourite paintings by him. But that piece in particular is just an anonymous male. doesn't really matter who they are. They're like the everyman.
Yeah.
The men, the women, they're not supposed to specifically be anybody. I base them on people. Sometimes people I know, sometimes strangers. It varies, but they're like a trigger for the unconscious. It never looks like them. And like I said, I use this very specific formula to sort of access the unconscious mind in a way.
Yeah. By the way, if anyone's watching and they've got any questions, please leave them in the chat. I am monitoring it, so I can ask, when we're looking at artists' work, I can ask them more questions. It's only me and Matt at the minute, but we should have a few more artists joining us in a bit.
We've got Jessica and Jesper trying to tune in, I think.
Okay, yeah.
I can see Jessica and Jesper. I think they've got sound there.
Okay, they just...
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, she's here. Yeah, this is.
I'm just I'm sharing the link again on Facebook so that if anyone wants to follow along and listen to us.
We're live now, by the way, Jess. So we're live.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no, I know.
So this is some of
Very nice, Jessica. You've made a real effort, unlike the rest of us.
Say again.
Who? Me? I was saying you look very nice. I said you made a real effort, unlike the rest of us.
I'm trying to do two things at once here. Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, it's nice. I'm glad we're doing this again. Yeah. Second time lucky.
And now we have some equally brilliant artwork, but slightly less nipples. There are a few. There are 4 actually in one of them, but
what? Oh yes, yeah, they're painted nipples.
They're painterly. So hopefully we won't have any issues this time, I think. But
the last works were like photographic collages, if anyone's wondering. So YouTube actually cut us off because it was flagged up as inappropriate content. Indeed. So instead of censoring the artworks, I covered them with stars, but it just looked bizarre actually. So I thought, like, let me just submit some new pieces, which are more kind of aligned to what I'm doing now. So yeah.
So the series is called Animal in Me, I think, isn't it?
Yes. Well, this series is actually called Animal in You.
Animal in You. Okay.
Yeah. So this is part of a new series of work where I invite the public to kind of interpret an ink blot. So that artwork started as an ink blot, and then basically the person who it belongs to kind of interpreted the ink blot and told me what he saw inside it. Yeah. And then I basically just brought it out with oil paints and created this little painting.
I'm just looking at one of them now. I think it's called Ink Blot Rorschach. And I see an owl. I see a sheep or a lamb, I think.
That one is called Killed, Cracked. Kissed, Cracked, Killed, Clipped. That's what this one's called.
Cool.
Yeah, that comes from.
I love the feathers on it as well. There's sort of like, it's amazingly rendered.
Thank you.
It's something actually that, because something I'm thinking actually is that it reminds me in some ways of like visionary artists like Alex Gray, but slightly different as well. So
that's a compliment. Thank you.
Because
it's quite graphic, isn't it? Like it is quite graphic, but there's elements that are quite soft as well. So I kind of like this feel of, there's like a masculine and a feminine element to this painting, I think. And like the kind of hard, cold lines are quite masculine, but then you've got these really fleshy kind of, there's a couple of boobs in there actually, point that out. So there's a lot of kind of feminine, fleshy softness in that as well. And I kind of like the way they seem to balance each other out.
Flesh.
Yeah.
Fleshy.
It works. I like the word flesh. I love the word flesh in relation to painting.
Oh yeah.
I love flesh. Yes.
It's almost like
I love flesh.
Tactile is not the word.
I mean that in like a Lucian Freud sense of the word, or an Arbach sense of the word. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it was a textual sort of painterly.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So that's a bit of an introduction to Jess's work. You can have another look as well later on, I'm sure. Jess, you've been painting for many years now, haven't you? It's probably about, what, 10, 12, 15, I guess, even.
I don't know, I've been painting since I was about, well, I mean,
Away been.
yeah, I mean, since a child, really.
Yeah.
But I think everyone paints when they're a child, so. But yeah, I mean, I went to uni straight after high school. Graduated when I was 23. So, but actually, I didn't paint for a while after I graduated.
Yeah.
It kind of it ruined something for me. It kind of killed my
academic sort of thing, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt really I had a great time. I mean, it was amazing, but it was too kind of, I don't know. There's something about like getting your work marked in that way that damages something, I think.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, after uni, you kind of have to unlearn a lot of things, not necessarily techniques and things like that, but you have to unlearn that kind of criticism that becomes like self-criticism almost.
Yeah.
Which totally destroys creativity,
the critical
I think.
voice inside yourself, yeah, I guess. You're in a critic, as it were.
Yeah.
You need self-criticism as an artist, though. It's vital. Otherwise, you'll never make any progress.
Of
you
course,
lose your self-criticism, you'll never go anywhere. You'll just stop.
I'm
You
not
think
saying
everything I do is great, and then that's it. There's no progression.
It's
then.
true, but
constructive
it's a balance, isn't
you
it?
need
It's a balance.
Constructive criticism I love because, I mean, I'm a teacher, so I'm constantly giving my students constructive criticism, but I do it in such a way that builds them up, doesn't break them down. And you have to be kind to yourself, man. You have to be kind to yourself.
Well, you have to be harsh as well. You have to be ruthless, and then you can make real progress. Destruction is linked to creation. You can destroy to create, or create to destroy, whatever you want to do. But I believe in harsh criticism myself personally.
I don't know. When I'm too harsh, I mean, I'm pretty harsh on myself in terms of criticism, and it just totally debilitates me. It's totally debilitating. Like, I become completely paralyzed by it.
I don't. I find it liberating. I've destroyed more work than I've created. I've destroyed hundreds of paintings, but I learned something through the process of destruction. I learned from that. I learned how to be a better artist.
I abandon more than I destroy.
Abandon? Where do you abandon them?
Just in the studio. I just kind
of.
Oh,
I thought you meant phically somewhere. I thought you meant you left them. Somewhere.
Ritualistic burning. It is the burning time. Mark Randall's on the chat. He's just asked, can you tell us another title of one of your pieces on show tonight? So it's Animal in You, isn't it? That's right.
So the series I'm working on now is called Animal in You.
Yeah.
It's actually going to be a Kickstarter thing. Hopefully it'll be up by early next month. So that's basically using ink blots as a way to capture people's subconscious imagery, basically. So like I said before, I'll show the ink blot to someone and then ask them what they see, and then reinterpret that with oil paint and kind of bring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully the stream's alright. I keep on getting messages saying it's excellent, then it goes poor, but it should just be buffering, I guess.
Well, let's just keep going.
Can I just say, guys, everyone that's on the chat, can you just turn off your sound until you're talking? Otherwise, there's some background noise.
Yeah, good idea, actually.
I'll do it.
Yeah, anyway.
Good. Oh, I just said da-da-da because I'm in Russia.
Da-da!
There's a gallery cat, so in this gallery we've got a little cat as well. I should have made it so when you go up to him he goes meow or something, actually. Maybe I should add that.
That would have been cute.
Meow. So yeah, that's Jessica, just giving an introduction to her work and what she's about. She's got a Kickstarter in, when is it again, Jess? Next month, is it?
Hopefully I'll publish it early next month.
Yeah. So watch out for that. That'll be well worth supporting an artist. Make their work basically, and do and if many people find Jess's work interesting, it's also on Occupy White Walls has been very popular, hasn't it, as well, which is the project not a million miles away from this. It's like a game where you curate art and make galleries and stuff on Steam. And your art's been very popular on there, hasn't it, Jess?
Yeah, it has. Not like the most popular, but it's got quite a lot of likes, which is always nice. Yeah.
Some nice.
It was good to be involved in their Kickstarter as well. Actually, I featured on their little on their video. They actually came to my studio a couple of times to do interviews, which was fun. They're a really nice bunch, and I just love what they're doing. It's so creative. It's so colorful. It's such a unique game, and it does really kind of open up the art world in a completely new way, I think, which is really interesting. And there's a few tunnel people on there.
Indeed. So I'm on there, and so is Deltix, Finsbury Park Deltix. They did a live stream of them actually recently.
Oh yes, they did, yeah.
So I guess I'll talk about one of my pieces now, which actually features Matt Tudor. So there's a piece I've put in this show called Cybernaut. It's a digital piece. It's got featuring Matt Tudor. Sort of a mixture. It's mixed media, really. I guess mixed media, digital. So it's a photograph and there's photo manipulation. Actually, I guess, a very accurate term. So it's a side profile of Matt Tudor. Matt Tudor. You a big fan of the side profile selfie? So I thought I'd do something based on that.
That's just vanity, so I don't look fat.
Oh, we all know that feeling on social media for sure.
I look thinner in profile.
So, yeah, this is called Cybernaut. It's sort of like, I guess it's visually exploring, I don't know, like cyberpunk style imagery and vaporwave style imagery. And it's got a clip from Brazil. You probably know Brazil, don't you, Matt? You know the scene with
Oh, yes, very well. One of my favourite films. Absolutely fantastic film.
Well, that's good, because there's a picture of you with it. Picked that up, must have intuitively picked that up, I guess. I thought you'd like it anyway. It's dystopia and sort of all that interesting stuff, isn't it? Yeah, so there's a still from that, and I mean, there's not really any big idea behind it. It's just more of a compositional, interesting thing. It's contrast of red and blue and everything. It's quite nice. That's that piece.
I really like that, Chris. When did you do that?
On the computer about a year ago or two, maybe, I think. So because I started doing a lot more digital pieces actually for the last.
Yeah, it's very different. It's very different from
I used to be much more of a painter, but now I just tend to do more digital stuff. I've got a few. Well, I've got.
We don't have a studio anymore, do you? So.
No, not a physical studio. So I'm just.
Yeah, so it's very difficult for you to paint now. Yeah.
So I've got two. I think I've got 3 other digital pieces in this actually. I might as well have a look at them, I guess. So this one is Mine Heart Inflamed. Bit of an obvious reference if you can see who it is in the picture. It's Till Lindemann from Rammstein, from the Deutschland video. Then they sort of just pasted a bunch of versions of his face. There's like a crowd of them. Quite a quick piece actually. Mine Heart Inflamed obviously just references the Deutschland video. That's what it is really, just red and blue, so sort of contrasting, mostly a visual thing, I guess. And then I wanted to do this piece is called Net Junkie. Now I wanted to do an art piece which is sort of exploring internet addiction, I guess, essentially. Like that feeling of when it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and you just can't get off the internet. It's just like a collage, just a lot of collage elements. There's stills from Tetsuo Iron Man. Internet memes, like sort of anatomical drawings and stuff. I was quite happy with how that came out actually. It's very maybe it's too busy in some respects, but I quite like that as well. There's also still from Psycho too. Can you two guys can see the video as well, can't you? Right, a little bit.
No, I can't see it.
Okay, well.
What do you mean?
I'm just listening to you.
Oh, Matt. Can you not open up the YouTube on in another tab?
I've got the YouTube in another tab, but there's a bit of a link.
Jamie's here. I didn't
Yeah,
realise he was here.
Hello.
Is Mark here, by the way? Because he was trying to get in.
Mark's here and Jesper as well.
Yeah.
Waiting to be spoken to.
I didn't even realise, sorry.
Yeah, Mark's been here a while.
Sorry, I've just been concentrating on loads of different things. So I guess I'll talk to Mark. I'm looking at this piece, this triptych here.
Mr. Rathmore, you're on stage. Oh, there we go. Sunglasses. Put your volume on. Mark, turn your volume on.
I think you need to unmute yourself, I think.
He's turned his sound off.
Well, he just needs to unmute it, I think.
It's on.
Oh, it's on.
There we go.
There we go. There we go.
Hey, Mark.
Hello.
So, yeah, so I'm just looking at your pieces with distancing. There's something called, what's it called again? It's disappearing something over. Where is it?
I need to go. That's my Ocado arrived. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just looking at your 3 pieces here, Mark. Can you talk to us a bit about it, I suppose?
I can't see them, actually.
So it's pieces are called self-portrait, thinking about people disappearing, and there's 3 different versions of it. There's 3 different versions of it.
Let's have a look.
So you can open it up as if you open up the live stream and then mute it, you should be able to see the video at least.
The live stream.
Yeah, I'll send you the link for it if you like.
Mark, I put the link. I put the link on Facebook, so you can.
Yeah, and then you can just mute it so it doesn't feed back into the
Is it?
sound.
It is.
Right.
Yeah, so we've got 2 Mark pieces in this. He's got music video from his band December Sound Booth. I'll turn the sound on in a second so you can hear that actually as well. It's usually background ambient sound in the gallery, and then we've got 3 digital pieces. So what can you just talk us through some of the work and just what it's about and sort of that sort of thing, I guess.
It was early in lockdown, I think.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that the longer it goes without you seeing people, they could just begin disappearing, and you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But it's part of it. It's one of a series of self-portraits I've been doing where I've been thinking or feeling something while doing the portrait.
Yeah.
And it's perhaps influenced how I've done.
Yeah, so it's very much personal sort of work.
I'm in it as well.
Hello, Mark.
There's Mark. I can definitely see Mark. He's enjoying something. You can hear me. Mark, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, yeah.
We can hear you.
I asked Mark if he can hear me, so I'll get an affirmative at some point. Mark, can you hear me?
I've been thinking or feeling something while doing the portrait.
Yeah. I'm just testing out if I'm.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
Because there's a
someone needs to mute.
having a conversation about lots of different
Matt,
things.
mute your YouTube. Matt, mute your YouTube.
Matt's talking to me. Matt, what are you saying? Matt Tudor?
Mute your YouTube.
Mute my YouTube. How do I find YouTube?
You've got it open already, and it came back to us.
Mute YouTube. Yeah, I've muted YouTube. Mark, can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you, Mark.
Okay. So Mark was just talking about how he's been feeling something when he's been making these works, and I guess very,
Matt Tudor,
very
can you hear me clearly?
directly. Yeah, it's right. We can hear you, Matt. Okay. Okay, so I think that's calming down now. There's feedback. That was a bit strange. I was worried that might happen, but it's all right. Okay, so let's have a look at maybe
Yes, Jesper.
Dismembered Sound Booth's video. Refresh that, actually.
Yes, I know. That's why I made sure I was in the YouTube to check that I was adequately prepared for everything I have to say.
Okay. I'm confused what's going on now. Matt Randall, can you Just mute yourself a second.
Oh, I love the tunnel. It's fantastic. It's absolutely glorious. No, seriously, it's
Lunatics
glorious.
are silent.
Wild eccentricity and confusion. It's wonderful.
Okay, so I'm gonna get, yeah, there we go. So we've got the video for December sound booth. I'll just quickly unmute this, and I'll just have to check the levels.
And now the streets are very quiet.
Check the levels. Okay, how do I check the levels?
This
Chris?
rest town is almost nice, but I'm not fearful for my health, for any virus or anything else. I'm more of a danger to myself. With things you can buy on supermarket
Mark,
shelves.
could you talk about
The
this
world
track
is
by
overpopulated.
Yes.
While I'm struggling to
It was the beginning of lockdown again, and I began to wonder if it might be a good thing to just let the virus depopulate the world,
Yeah,
because we're overpopulated, and I thought it could be a good thing in a way. It's not the worst way to die. It's not as bad as being tortured to death.
yeah, it's a bang. It's a whimper, not a bang, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, but I thought if we could maybe reduce the population by about 2 billion, that would be great. Let's just let it do its worst. But then I
Yeah,
really
just a few, Mark. Don't go too far. Just a few to start with.
Yeah, but I hope just the bad people die. But that didn't sound good as a lyric, so I changed it to I hope just the boring people die.
Yeah, it's a bit.
But
like,
I do find all people boring, so in a way it's accurate.
Yeah, it is. It's like that quote, isn't it? Only the boring people go to heaven, or something like that. I guess. In some
Yeah.
sense.
But the other thing about it is the way that it was made is unusual. I had the lyrics and I had a tune in my head, so I just sang it into my phone,
Yeah.
emailed it to Giles in the band, and he put the backing music underneath it afterwards.
Yeah, it's almost carnivalesque, isn't it? Actually, I'm about to mute it because it's too loud otherwise. But yeah, it's like a sort of carnivalesque, sort of almost celebratory thing going on, isn't it?
Maybe I'm too loud on the thing. It's my microphone. So how do I turn my own?
Who did the video, Mark? Because we're just watching the video now.
That was Brian in America.
Okay, yeah, Brian Coleman.
Yeah, Brian Coleman. He did the video. Yeah. Everybody sort of brings something to the table.
Yeah.
There are a lot to work with.
Yeah. The Dismembered Sound. We've got a few albums out now as well, haven't you? Which you can buy.
Yeah, we do, and we've done an EP called "Things We Did on Our Enforced Holidays."
Yeah. I've seen that. I saw that. I think it was 2 weeks ago or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's been going nicely. Somebody bought it for £100. You can name your own. Yeah, someone paid £100 for it.
Wow, that's amazing.
I contacted her to thank her, and she said she'd forgotten to bloody download it after she paid.
That's amazing. That's really good, actually. Because usually, I mean, I sometimes chip in quite a bit, but I don't think I'd go up to £100 for an album.
Amazing. It was great. I mean, I've never met her or anything, but we were so moved that we recorded a ballad song to her called Norma, because that's her name.
Norma as well. She's called Norma.
It went something like, Norma, you made such a difference to our lives. I really like the song.
Yeah.
Anyway, how are you in? How's things in Russia, Chris?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just in lockdown, innit? Just working, doing not much else really.
So I'm slowly getting to grips with the feedback loop.
That's all right. There's no feedback now, so that's all we need to know.
And I was going to excessive lengths to.
So that's awesome. So we just had a look at that video. Had a chat with Mark about that. Who else we got in here that we can talk to?
Jesper and Matt.
So Jamie's gone off, hasn't he, somewhere?
Yeah, it's just an empty space. Oh no, he's back. There he is.
I was doing Arcado.
These are two of Jamie's pieces. I think what it was called Freefall, isn't it? I think, or Thronus and
Yeah.
We talked about them a bit on the last one, but could you maybe talk again about some of what's influenced these pieces, I guess?
Well, I mean, I guess like all my stuff, it's kind of preoccupied with the role of information technology in the kind of the evolution of the human mind.
Yeah.
And because feedback, sorry, and because it's like when you look at it in the context of deep study, like on a mute, real, sorry. Can you still hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
And like,
just about. It's muffled, that's
and really just like that, like we went from like I guess like all my stuff that's kind of preoccupied with the role of information technology, like a
Good feedback, yeah.
the evolution of the human mind. I guess all my stuff is kind of in general super high tech. You know, because it's like UX and it's like
Jamie, just stop for a second. Jamie.
The next leading edge of whatever it is we are communicating, interacting, symbol manipulation, and all that stuff. You know, like pre-modern elements. Developed, how they evolved. I guess like all of my stuff. All of these pieces kind of try to explore that same.
It's just feedback. It's funny. We know it's funny.
It's not funny. It's really annoying. Okay. Are we back on no feedback zone now?
You might get it for images now, though, because I'm putting my camera on.
Fine, but can we just mute YouTube if it's possible, please? Because
Matt,
I might. Oh yeah. I might have YouTube on my phone. Sorry, I might have it on my phone somewhere. Yeah, I did something different. Let me check.
turn your sound off because.
No, it's not about that. It's YouTube. Someone said YouTube. I'll go to YouTube. I might have it on my phone as well as on my laptop. That's why it might be.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because I took the headphones. Yeah, I've muted my phone, so it shouldn't be making any sound. And I need to mute my other phone. Sorry.
Yeah, but no one can see us. They can only hear us.
I know that this issue was the sound. I've sorted it.
Yeah, but you can just turn your sound off on the chat. Unless you want to say something.
Okay, Jamie, you're still there? I think we can carry on now.
I'm still here. I mean, yeah, where did I finish off? Did everyone hear everything or what?
I heard the start of it, so I heard you. I'm getting feedback.
From the beginning, please.
Yeah, sorry, I've got feedback again.
All right, no worries.
Can somebody mute YouTube? Whoever's got YouTube not muted, can you mute it?
I can't. Yeah, I'm going to turn the YouTube off though.
Yeah. It's just.
I mean, I don't think it's me. I'm just giving that a go.
Okay.
My son's making noises in the background now. Okay, should I continue or what?
Yeah, it's fine now. That's all right now. It's just that's fine.
Okay, great. So yeah, the sort of the TLDR of kind of pretty much everything I make, it's all about the history of human cognition really, and the puzzle of how it's happened in this kind of evolutionary instant, and going from super primitive stuff to super high tech, kind of remaking the biosphere in like the geological blink of an eye. And I think it's just we don't kind of think about it enough really. So I want to try and visually represent this sudden, rupture in evolutionary history, from the perspective of, from a human perspective, I guess, and just trying to, communicate the strangeness of it, I suppose. I don't know, I often find it's difficult to articulate, which is why I make the art, I guess.
Yeah. It's almost like sigils some of the things, especially on Creek and Wildfire. There's like sigils almost.
So those are from a book by a woman called is it Genevieve One Persinger, and she's done a book where she analysed all of the world's known cave art, and she said there was a limited set of like 32 distinct symbols that were used, like many tens of thousands of years ago, like all across the world, and maybe they're some proto symbol set. We don't know what they mean or what they were used for, but I just find that deeply fascinating. How this kind of representation and symbol manipulation is just so fundamental to our kind of mind and how we understand it.
I mean, are you like influenced? I don't know if you are. Actually, I've never asked this question. Are you sort of influenced by Carl Jung and all those sort of ideas about the collective unconscious and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware of Jung. I mean, I've never read any of his books, but I'm aware of him through osmosis. Yeah, I find it interesting. I find kind of some of the evolutionary explanations. Yeah, they're appealing, but there's so many other. I mean, I'm reading Ian McGilchrist's book at the moment on the hemispheric differences. He makes a very compelling argument of the sort of rational world being the domain of the left brain in its way to try and sort of target things like a target system. I mean, he talks about how the brains of like many animals, like birds, for instance, one hemisphere is dedicated, the right hemisphere is dedicated to scanning the environment, so looking for predators. Then the other hemisphere is dedicated to sort of it's a targeting system. It's looking for prey, basically. And in humans, that's developed into, in very rough sense, the kind of artistic, spiritual side, and the the kind of analytical side that kind of breaks things down to small components, and that's the kind of the domain of language. So yeah, that That was an original question, sorry. But.
I mean, this Promethean wildfire piece for me, especially, it seems like it's almost moving because it's sort of got that layered, almost worn effect on some of it as well. It's like a shifting sort of movement to it. It's really interesting. I really like the Promethean wildfire piece actually, like a lot.
Cheers, thank you. I mean, I do want to try and get some more. I mean, I feel a lot of my stuff feels very static, but I want to try and get a.
And it sort of looks, I guess you're referencing this knowingly as well. It's sort of like, these machine learning scanning programs where they have the sort of square that goes around when they recognise a dog or a face or something. So it sort of has that feeling as well because it's got this blue square around the rectangles. And I guess, Jamie's a UI and UI designer as well, so that sort of comes into it. I guess.
Sorry, my phone had a notification. I've turned it complete silent.
Okay. That's fine. So yeah, thanks, Jamie. What else? What have we not looked at? So I don't think Beb's here, but we've got some pieces.
Jesper.
Jesper. Well, Jesper, you can just come in about any piece because I don't think you've got a piece in this. But do you want to look at Becca's piece? Maybe say something about that. I don't know if you looked at Becca Smith's piece much last time. Jesper, you can say anything you want. It's free reign. I don't know if he's not muted or something.
Oh, I was on the phone to him. Check. I texted him.
I think Becca
he's there.
did this piece with a pen or something. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe paint. I don't know. It's pretty cool, mystical, definitely arcane. If anyone wants to come in and by the way looking at some, I guess we'll probably just look.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's just a delay on the feedback.
No, there's no feedback now. On that.
I mean, delay on the call.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can say something about Becca's piece to break the silence.
I texted him. No, he's there.
Matt, can you mute yourself, please?
So Becca did like a medieval woodblock.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Jesper, I can hear you.
Can whoever has...
I mean, delay on the call.
Has someone not got YouTube muted or something? Like,
I texted him. No, he's there.
Okay. Can anyone hear anything now? Because that was I'm getting feedback again. Hello. Hello.
We can hear you, dude. I can hear you.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah.
It's fine, Chris. Every meeting I have at work goes like this. It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's all right. We've only got like 3 viewers or something anyway, so it's not too bad.
Chris, I'd like to say something about Becca's work.
Yeah. Go.
Well, I actually just wanted to say, because looking at it, it's quite similar. She did a really lovely little workshop that I attended on medieval woodblock printing.
Yeah.
Medieval style woodblock, kind of like drawings that you would make for woodblocks.
Yeah.
And I can kind of see that influence.
Yeah, it's definitely got a medieval feeling to it, hasn't it? Definitely. So,
yeah, and a lot of symbolism, and it'd be great if she was on the call, actually.
Yeah, I don't think she may not have known about it. She's quite out of the loop, I guess, being up north and all that outside of London. Well, it doesn't really matter these days, actually, does it? Really?
We're all out of the loop.
We're all
We're all isolated.
all in
the same position.
Probably more in the loop.
All of us.
I'll see if I can.
Yeah. So no, I'll go. It's very medieval, isn't it? And is that Halley's Comet? It looks a bit like, actually, or something like that. This comet here looks like a comet. And then the mystical moon. So yeah, it's a very interesting piece. She's often very influenced by the occult and that sort of thing in her image making. And then what's this? I'm just noticing a few more things now. Like there's a woman who's a tree, it looks like, and a man as a tree or something, and a monster. A lot going on there, and a horse. Yeah, that's Becca Smith's artwork. This is a artist based in Macclesfield, Cheshire, from where I'm from, just there, well, thereabouts anyway. Okay. What else should we have a look at? So I guess we'll have a look at this piece. Obligatory political piece, I guess. This is one of mine. It's a drawing. Joker, Trump, I guess. I can't remember what I called it even. What did I call it?
Jess, how do I
Just
mute
Trump.
on here the Hangouts thing?
Click the mute on the bottom left corner underneath.
There's a little mic next to the putty down telephone, the little red telephone.
Oh yeah, the one next to the telephone.
Yeah, on the left. Just click that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is one of my pieces. It's a drawing from a while ago. In a way, it's almost obvious, but it's like the Trump as the Joker. Maybe in some ways it's a bit too obvious, but it's just a little drawing I did a while ago. I was like the flag burning and all that sort of thing, because he's sort of mishandled the crisis, to say the least. So I thought it would probably fit in this exhibition.
How would you categorise yourself as an artist, if you can do that? I know it's a difficult thing to do. But what category would you put yourself into as a painter?
It's just an artist, really. So
as a painter, what category would you fall into, do you think?
Expressionist, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably
neo-expressionist.
Yeah, like neo-expressionism. I mean, it's all labels at the end of the day. It's all woefully.
No, it's interesting. We need to categorise things as a human being. That's how we work. That's how we function.
Yeah. But I mean, there's the limits of language thing, isn't it? I mean, it's woefully in like. I mean, yeah. I guess so. In terms of the look of it, it's like expressionistic. It's. But yeah, I always find it a bit hard to fully. You can't ever fully categorise it, really, which is what makes it fun.
Well, you have many different influences, don't you? So you fall into several categories, really. Yeah. I just wonder how you feel about your work.
I think, as you know, Matt, I started off as much more of an abstract painter, actually, when my early work.
Yes.
Much more abstract. It's basically fully abstract. Not really any figurative imagery, and then I've sort of changed to become more.
Used to use lots of colours as well. Used to use really vibrant, kind of bright, saturated.
I've sort of toned that down a bit more recently. In fact, if anything, I've got more goth and dark and everything and black. But I feel happier than ever. It's weird. So this is another one of my pieces actually we're looking at. It's a digital piece. Goodbye Real World. It's basically just about escaping into virtual reality. That's as simple as that is. Needs to be explained, I guess. I guess you guys can see it. It's a few of you anyway. So it's made this using GIMP, GNU Image Manipulation Program. It's got some cool little granular sort of like lines there. I can't remember what the tool's called that I used to make it on GIMP, but it's quite cool. A 7 of 9, of course. She's got almost like a claw, which is quite weird. And then some guy. I can't remember what I used for the eyes actually, because I used some different eye reference. Probably my own eyes, I guess, or someone else's for this thing here. But yeah, that's that. That's the sort of self-explanatory image, I'd say, because it's just about getting lost in a virtual world, really. Nothing more, nothing less. Which we all do in one way or another these days, I think.
It's very relevant to now, Chris. It's what we're all doing now. Lost in a virtual world, in isolation.
It's literally what we're doing now.
Exactly, yeah. This is now. It's a very, very current, very topical piece of work,
yeah,
I think.
It's about 3 years old, actually. But like I was sort of...
I
was getting interested in virtual reality again and stuff, and I thought, yeah, I might as well explore that. And then we've just got a bed and a telly over here, actually. These don't really do much. I mean, they could be art, I guess, but more design, but just parts of the gallery, the lockdown experience. This is actually, just as a note, this is like an old Soviet television, I think. It's modelled on that. I got it from a 3D trader or something. But it's like it's supposed to be an old Soviet TV, apparently. You just have a look at that. Apparently it's an old Soviet television. The more you know. So I think we'll look at Sarah Lucas's work in a minute. I'm just going to leave it to last because I'm just a bit worried it might get flagged again. So we'll look at the last of what we haven't looked at, I think. So we don't think we've looked at Genevieve's piece yet. Jenna was here last time. I don't think she's here this time, unless she is.
She's not here this time.
Okay, yeah.
No.
So, Jess, you know a lot about Genevieve's work. Maybe you could say a little bit about it, I guess. Does that make sense?
Well, what I can, I don't want to do her a disservice.
Yeah. No, but...
I know she's really interested in nature and organic form and like sustainability. It's very much, I think about like kind of growth and change. There's a lot of kind of organic movement in her work, which I really like.
Yeah.
It's almost like a kind of explosion of, I don't know, it's like living matter kind of combining and like interacting.
Definitely, yeah. Like fluid almost. It looks all very, like you said, natural, organic sort of. Or like oil or something, or liquid of some sort.
I think she said this one was based on a story.
Yeah, it's a short story, isn't it? Or some story that she was very influential in her life, from what I remember, or one of her favourite stories. It was about a dog, wasn't it? I think I'm remembering.
Something about a dog. Yeah, I can't remember.
Well, if you're watching this back in the future, if you want to find out a bit more about that story, then the older live stream's got some more information on that anyway. But yeah, a beautiful abstract piece of abstracted, almost like smoke. It looks like in some respects, very nice and fluid and painterly. That mark there especially is beautiful. That big, huge, broad stroke of orange, very nice. Okay, so we'll go on to Sarah Lucas's work, I think, in a second. I'll just talk very briefly about this piece. This was actually somewhat inspired by some of Mark Rathmore's digital pieces in some respects. It's called Cold. And I saw that Mark had been doing a lot of these sort of like we saw before, the sort of digital expressionist drawings. So I thought I'd sort of do my own version of that sort of thing. It's called Cold. Sort of just like, I'll just go close to it. It's a drawing with some like digital abstractions going on in the background. relatively happy with it. It's a nice experimental piece. And yeah, it's sort of what it is. It's just like a man who's cold. A cold man. Could be, maybe it looks sort of mountainous, the background, actually, in some respects. And sort of speaks...
I like the different... oh, sorry.
No, go on, please.
I was going to say, I like the different kind of mark making. So you've got these very bold kind of, almost like marker, you know, like a black marker or blue marker. Then you've got this almost like a charcoal kind of transparency in the background, which is interesting.
Yeah, a nice little bit of contrast between the marks and stuff, I guess. And yeah, definitely. I mean, I called it cold just because it looks like a sort of lone, almost like Nietzschean sort of figure, I guess, in some respects, like this sort of lone wanderer. That was sort of the idea behind that, I guess. Thanks, Jess, for chiming in. By the way, if anyone wants to chime in when I'm talking, don't feel free to just say, you know, whatever. It's fine.
I have been.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, re-clarifying. So these this is the bit where we risk maybe getting cut off, but we'll see how it goes. So this is some of Sarah Lucas's pieces. So Crazy Cat Lady. She's not with us, unfortunately, at the minute, but we'll just have a look and talk about these. So anyone, like I said, if you want to chime in, just chime in.
I have asked her to. She can't make the live call, but she's actually she's going to watch it. So she is out in the audience. So maybe if she's listening, if anyone wants to ask anything, they can leave a comment, and then maybe she can reply.
May we go back to Jamie's, please? His piece.
Yeah, we'll do in a few minutes. Like, give
Thank you.
5 minutes or so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, it's like I guess there's a sort of play on the crazy cat sort of trope that's out there. I guess crazy cat lady trope. Looks like it's sort of more about subverting that trope, I'd say. I don't know what you think, Jess, or anybody else.
Maybe lift the camera up so we can see it properly. Or is it just me? Oh, sorry. I think she was. Oh, I don't know about this one, but I know in some of her other works, wasn't she using postcards? You know those postcards you find in telephone.
Dun, dun. There they go. Meow meow. Hey kitty girl. This is the point where we might get cut off potentially because it happened last time, but hopefully not. But okay, let's just have a look at them. If YouTube don't like that ass, I don't know what they're about. Sorry. Being vulgar.
But she is watching right now, actually.
So we've got like, hey kitty girl, meow. So I guess it's sort of male gaze, sort of some comment on that, I guess, and also about objectification, I suppose, how we use I don't know, women's bodies are commodified. I'm assuming, I guess.
Well, these posters are from their advertisements for call girls, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they look like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know that existed until I came to this. Well, I mean, I think it was Matt actually. We were just walking down the road, and I was like, "Oh my word! Look at these little postcards. There's all these kind of pornographic postcards in the telephone boxes."
Yeah.
And Matt's like, "Oh, haven't you ever seen that before? It's like really common."
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I think
in London especially.
Soho.
I think it's quite. It's
Soho,
really awesome.
Yeah.
That she's taken them and appropriated them in this way. I think it's a really kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of critique of, the objectification of the female body, I guess. It kind of reverts the gaze in a way. You know, it makes you more aware of the gaze, which I really like. It's quite comical and it's quite light. You know.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. It looks like it's been painted on. I think it looks painted. It looks like paint.
Yeah, it is.
She uses acrylic. Yeah.
Quite a nice detail actually, getting up close like that. Not like that. Oh, 666 as well. The bottom is painted as well. I just noticed that the number's actually got 666 for the devil. Cool. I do like that middle piece, but I'm just trying not to look at it too much because it might get flagged or something. Okay, so Matt, wanted to look quickly at Jamie's pieces again, and then we can probably have a a bit of a wrap up, I suppose. I think we've looked at everybody's work. I think.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground. Yeah.
So, Matt, did you have a question around Jamie's work that you want to ask? Matt?
Yes, Mr. Randall, you.
Matt Randall?
Yes, I just had to unmute. I had to unmute myself.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I do. Can when it comes up, well, I remember there was these kind of grid systems that I've noticed in the portrait. There was a portrait.
Yeah, this one on the right.
Okay, yeah. I'll have to use my memory. I'd encountered this kind of software, so it really kind of resonates with me because I've only recently started using the Google Search app on my phone, and you can now use Google Lens in it. These kind of softwares that you touched on before, it's starting to have a big impact on my life because instead of just scanning QR codes, I can now easily in my hardware get the access that I only saw Google phone users having. So it's been a real eye-opener the past few weeks, finding out easy ways to search for things, which I already knew about. But this Jamie's piece really reminded me of this kind of age where anything that you can see can be searched online immediately.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, I'm definitely preoccupied with those sort of things. I mean, it's just so strange that, like, you know, just sitting here in my house, I can, you know, talk to all of you. How weird is this that we're even having this conversation? First of all, you know, but just, I can know anything I want. I can just draw information out of the air, you know, and in a way that would have absolutely. I mean, you think of our ancestors, not just 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. You know, it's just so remarkable, and we just don't think about it a great deal. So yeah, the symbolism, like the the thing over the face and whatnot. You know, it's just so much part. It's just so ordinary. It's just part of our everyday existence, but it's just also it just represents this kind of
surreal.
Sorry?
Surreal in its ordinariness now, I guess.
Yeah, effectively, yeah. It's just we just really don't spend enough time thinking about how strange the modern world is. I guess.
Like electrons getting shot. I don't know through. I've lost my train of thought there. I was going to try and say something really profound, and it came out like.
Can we move on to the Matt, Chris's portrait of Matt, which is quite near it in the gallery space?
Yeah, sure. So we looked at this bit before, but we can have a look at it again. Yeah, if you've got a question around that one, Matt. So yeah, I'm just looking at it now.
Sorry, just had to remember to unmute myself again. Yeah. So me and Jesper had a quick glimpse of this one earlier when you were having the discussion. Me and Jesper were on the phone having a discussion at the same time about the piece. So I can relay what we thought, and I'd like to add Jesper into the conversation here if possible. So I'm going to unmute myself.
Of course. Cybernaut.
So, what are we looking at? What's going on?
We're looking at that portrait again of
We're looking at the portrait of Matt Tudor.
I think
looking at that again.
Matt and Jesper are just about to say something about it, or I think I have a dialogue of some sort.
I think he's coming in very soon.
See, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, can hear you well. Yeah, hi, Jesper.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. Great facial hair, brilliant. What's part of the beard club.
We're looking at the portrait of Matt Tudor.
Oh no, the feedback stuff.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Jesper, I was just referring to the piece that we talked about earlier.
Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
yes, we can hear you.
I think he's coming in very soon.
See, can you guys hear me? No.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry, having some serious technical.
Yeah, so I'll mute it for a second. Wait up. I'm just muted the thing for a second so I can't hear it. This doesn't come up on the feed. Just having a bit of feedback. Someone needs to turn off their.
Chris, I think you can mute Jesper on the Google chat. Oh, there he's muted himself. Never mind.
Okay, so yeah, I've just muted it before. So, sorry, Jesper, have you got feedback yet, or is it all right? Yeah.
Yes.
I think we covered everything for the show now. I think we spoke about all the work. I think.
Yeah.
I'd quite like to get Jesper's view. He's definitely with us. He's going to be here very shortly.
Yeah, but
he would appreciate
no, but he can't communicate with us. He's got a huge delay.
Yeah, but he's getting there.
Technical
and I think
problems.
it's very neat to hear his point.
I don't think that's possible, Matt.
Well, should we just talk about like the show itself and the title and you know what it's like in lockdown as an artist?
Yeah. We can chat about that. I think that's good.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good.
So let's go.
Oh boy!
So how mental are you going?
I'm not going mental at all. I'm all right actually. I've been busier than ever. It's interesting hearing from people that are actually bored.
Yeah.
That is a feeling that I haven't experienced since
Neither have I. I'm not bored. I'm just isolated. I'm not bored. I've been very productive. I'm painting a lot. I'm reading. It's been a very productive time. I just want to see my friends. That's all. I'm not bored.
Yeah, I mean that
It's not about
part of it, the
boredom.
social part of it. But I mean, this is what we're doing now. We can see each other and we're chatting. We're
Yeah.
having conversations. We're interacting with whoever
It's
else
not
is.
quite full engagement, though. It's not quite the same.
No, it's not the
as
same
being
at all.
with you.
But it's better than being completely isolated.
Absolutely. I'm not criticizing the medium of communication, not at all. Absolutely, I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying it's not quite feel the same.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, I am. I'm fucking bored.
You're always bored. That's why you tell boring stories. You're boring, Tata.
Oh, maybe you can read one of your boring stories to us. That would be nice.
Yeah, go on.
That'd be awesome.
Then we just need Mervyn with the ukulele, and it'd be great.
Maybe
Like a tunnel meeting.
I can put the video on for this. Even I'll put the video on for this if you want. So.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
So get ready.
Oh, we need some weed. We need some weed.
Matt, we are live.
Oh, who cares? The police aren't interested in this.
The video's not going on. It won't go on for some reason. It's weird. I think you need to turn it on or something. I don't know.
I just heard word from Jesper. He didn't have anything to say, so I'm just passing that on.
Okay. Okay. Well, Mark can still read one of his boring stories. And
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
I'll stand in front of his video. Actually, that might work quite well. I think. Go for it, Mark.
Right. This is called. Yeah. This is called The Pigeon. I've always been an innovator, I tell you. Right at the peak of rave, I invented a whole new dance, completely unique and original. I called it The Pigeon, yeah? What you do is you walk around with your hands by your side, jerking your chin back and forth violently to the beat. Thing is, no one copied it and it never caught on. I was just too far ahead of my time. They couldn't get their heads around it. What can you do? But I've got some video footage of me doing it at our lass's wedding. I'll transfer it to digital and upload it to YouTube, and it'll catch on one of these days, I'm telling you. And then they'll all know I were right in the first place.
Brilliant.
Very good.
Another one, I think, probably.
Another one? Oof. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. This is called Dead. Oh, at least someone's still alive. Everyone I've talked to recently has been fucking dead. I'm not kidding. It's been a funeral after another. I've just come from one now. They're dropping like flies, the boring cunts.
Brilliant. Excellent. Cool.
Good to hear your laugh again.
Yeah, man, I miss you. It's been I miss everyone really. I'll have to visit again once I can, I guess.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it'd be good to see everyone again. Probably, hopefully, at a tunnel showing sometime in the next few months, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll all be in mass.
Well, hopefully at the end of June.
Yeah, and Chef A as well. That'd be great.
I'm going to reschedule that one for the end of June. Hopefully, it's ended by then. I think probably.
I hope that Chef A still exists as a business by then.
Yeah.
I hope so as well. I really do.
It'll be such a bummer if it doesn't, because we've just got that sorted out.
Yeah.
Which is great. So it'll be a real bummer if it's.
Well, that's to see.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I think I'll wind the live stream up now, but we can still keep on chatting on Hangouts, of course.
That'd be nice.
Thank you, Chris.
It's a shame actually because we've just got someone viewing, but I don't think we should go through it. Someone's asking a few questions and stuff. Rachel and Alan Sherwood. I don't know if she knows Mark, but yeah, we're gonna have to. Oh, my battery's. My phone. My laptop's not charged. Why is my laptop not charged? What?
What's the excitement happening there, Chris?
Yeah, my laptop's not charging for some reason. No, it just came loose.
Well, thank you for organizing this and doing it. Hopefully, obviously with this technology, it's kind of new to us. So hopefully we can do more of these and maybe
well, if we do another one of these,
get the feedback sorted out.
Yeah. I think that was just. I mean, it only takes one of us, and then it happens basically. So yeah, but it's just learning all that stuff.
Yeah.
So So if any people viewing, there's a few people viewing at the minute. We'll be doing another one of these in the future sometime. And I think probably we'll be doing something with Occupy White Walls some point in the future as well. I think so. We were just talking about that earlier on. So yeah.
Maybe we could put a link.
Just keep watching this space.
Watch.
Yeah, and follow.
Just
on
keep
Facebook.
following us on Facebook and Instagram, and keep you updated.
Yeah.
I mean, we're very active on there.
I'll put a link to Occupy White Walls site as well, so people can have a look at that.
Someone's asking for more.
Yeah.
Rachel.
And then I'll put the link. So we can stay on for another few minutes. I know there's a few people watching now who are leaving comments. So if some of the artists want to go, it's all right. But if you're getting a bit tired, but if anybody, I'll have a quick look around. If anybody wants me to talk about a specific thing or get someone to talk about a specific artwork, just quickly, we'll do another 10 minutes or so. I think would probably be a good idea. Just leave a comment. Okay, well, I should probably wind up, I guess. Okay, so
We'll be online for over an hour. Let's just include this.
So okay, I'll wind it up. So we've been The Tunnel. Thank you for watching our live stream, and tune in again. Go onto our website tunnel.london.
Facebook.
This gallery you can visit on Lockdown Art. It's like lockdown-art.com, and you'll find the playable link. Yep, lockdown-art.
And also the tunnel.london.
Yep, the tunnel.london as well. And thanks for watching. If you've been watching, I've been Chris, and we've been The Tunnel. Thank you very much.